Hey everybody, it's me Joe, and I want to welcome you back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to give you a fluency test. Many students ask me every week, Joe, how can I be fluent? How do I know if I'm getting more fluent? How can I improve my fluency? Okay, so I'm going to give you a test with 10 questions. You give an answer to each one of those questions and then add up a score. I give an honest answer, all right, from 0 to 10. 0 means no, not at all, 0%. 10 means yes, perfectly, 100%. Answer each question, write down a score. At the end, we'll add those up and you'll have a fluency score, all right? Then, if you keep studying with me and keep watching my lessons and learning and doing what I tell you to do, after 2 or 3 weeks, take this test again and see if your score changes. It should. You should get better. Okay? So you want to keep on doing it. So this is all about your fluency. How good are you at speaking fluently? Okay? So let's get to it. We got 10 questions to get through. Watch the whole thing and give an honest score. Here we go. Number 1, how much of the time can you just think in English and not translate words into your own language? Okay? So how often can you just think in English? When you're speaking English or talking to someone, you just think in English. Stay there. You don't have to translate. So is it 10%? 20%, 50%, okay? So give yourself a score from 0 to 10. Write that down. That's important, okay? Number 2, how much of the time do you read English books for fun every day, okay? If you know me, you know that I'm a big proponent of reading for fun. It's the best way to improve your vocabulary, grammar, and speaking for free. Just get some English books, all right? So how often do you do that, right? If you think about the last 10 days, did you read 1 day, 2 days, 10 days? How much did you, right? How many days out of 10 did you read for fun? Okay, be honest. Give yourself a score, 0 to 10, all right? Write that down. Number 3, how much do you believe that you sound like a native speaker with very few mistakes? So this is, you got to internalize this. How do you feel? How much do you think you sound like a native speaker and you make very few mistakes? Native speakers also make mistakes, all right? You don't have to be perfect, but you got to be pretty close to, right, with very few mistakes. Give yourself a score from 0 to 10 on that, okay? Number 4, how good are you at saying things in different ways and not repeating yourself, okay? A lot of times I talk to my students, and if they're a little bit lower level, I'll say, how are you today? Good. How was your weekend? Good. How was that movie? Good. Right? Right? They only know one way to respond to questions about their feelings. So this question is saying, how good are you at saying things in different ways? Right? Do you have enough vocabulary to be able to explain yourself and explain your feelings in different ways? Give yourself a score from 0 to 10 on that one. Okay? Let's keep going. Number 5. How good are you at speaking about all parts of your life? Your work life, your family, relationships, plans, feelings, etc. How good are you? How good would you say you are? Okay? Okay? Because some people are good at speaking about work, but they're not good at talking about their life, their family, stuff like that. Okay? So how good are you at all things? Give yourself a score from 0 to 10. Okay? Number 6. All right, we're over halfway there. If you're still with me, fantastic. Let's keep going. This will really help you. Number 6. How good are you at using all tenses? All right? You don't have to know all the names of them. You just know they sound right. When you get to be fluent, you might even forget the names of the different tenses, but you just say them correctly, okay? Right? Native speakers, we don't know the names of all the tenses, but we know how to say things, all right? And we don't consider some tenses difficult and other tenses easy. We just use them. So how good are you at using all those tenses? Give yourself a score from 0 to 10, all right? Moving on, number 7. This one, I really stress this one with my students. How often do you explain things to people and they understand you after just one try? Okay, that's a great goal when I give that to my students. I want you to explain something and just have to do it once. Okay, all right? So how often can you do that you explain things and people understand you right away? Okay, and they go, got it, yeah, and the conversation keeps going. Or do people, what do you mean? What was that? I don't understand, right? So how good are you at explaining things and making yourself understood? Now, some people will say, yeah, but teacher, the other students, their English is not very good. They don't understand me. I don't buy that, all right? I speak to students every day of my life. And I make sure, my number one goal is I want to explain something. I make sure that person understands me perfectly. So I adapt my explanation to that person. I'm not just talking in a vacuum here. I talk to that person and I give examples so they will really understand. I'm fluent and I can do it. Give yourself a score from 0 to 10. How good are you at doing that? Okay? Making yourself understood on one try. Here we go. Next one, number 8. How much of comedies, both movies and TV shows, do you get? All right? When you watch a movie, a funny movie or a funny TV show, how much of it do you really understand? Okay? Because comedies, they use a lot of different vocabulary and a lot of different cultural things. And that really hurts. It's hard for a lot of people because knowing about culture is difficult. All right? So how good are you at understanding comedies? Give yourself a score from 0 to 10. All right? Number 9. How good are you at not getting stuck? Okay? So when I say getting stuck, it means you don't know how to explain something, or you don't know how to say it, or you don't know what to say next. You're like, right? You're stuck. Okay? Now, this doesn't mean you have to know everything in the world. I don't know everything in the world, but I could start talking about your grandmother and the city she grew up in like that, right? I don't even know your grandmother or what city she grew up in, but I could still talk and I could still make things up and I could still say things because I'm fluent, all right? So you have to be careful about that. Give yourself a score from 0 to 10 at how good you are at not getting stuck. I'm a 10. I don't get stuck. All right? How good are you? And here's question number 10. How confident are you when you have to speak in front of people for a long time? Okay? In English. How confident are you? Now this one, you have to separate your personality from your language skills. Okay? Some people are shy and they don't like talking in front of people. Some people would never even just make a video like this, right? They're too shy. But imagine you're given a speech. You can feel shy. And it's like, I don't want to do it. But is that just your personality, or are you worried about your language skills? Okay? That's what I'm talking about. How confident are you in your language skills? From 0 to 10, about giving a presentation or speech in front of a group of people. Okay? Give yourself a score, 0 to 10 on that. Okay? So those are all the questions. Now what I want to do is I'm going to show you them again on the whiteboard and show you how to add them up and get yourself a score. Okay? Okay, so here is the whiteboard, and I've put the questions in short form, and I've given a score, an imaginary score. So, number 1, just think in English, 6. Read for fun every day, 5. Do you sound right? 7. Say things differently, 8. Talk about everything, 8. Good at all tenses, 8. Can explain in one try, 7. Understand comedies, 5. Can avoid getting stuck, 8. And how confident do you feel? 6. And then you add up those 10 numbers, and in this example, I got to 68. Okay, so now what does that score of 68 mean? Well, if your score is below 25, you're a beginner in fluency. If you're between 25 and 50, you need more work. You're on the right track, but you need more work. If you're between 50 and 80, I'd say you're close to fluent. And if you're above the score of 80, you are fluent or near fluent. So congratulations. In this example, the student would be just close to fluent. 68 is between 50 and 80. So pretty good. All right? All right. So now you know, if you've watched all this and you've done what I've told you, you know your score. And you know which ones you're good at, you know which ones you're bad at, you know your total score. That's great. Okay? What's the next step? Take a look at those lowest scores that you got and start working on those, right? What were you really weak at? Is it the comedies thing? Is it speaking in front of people? Is it tenses? What part was the lowest part for you for your fluency? Start working on that. 2 or 3 weeks, and then come back and take the test again. Okay? All right? If you have any questions, write them down in the comments below, and I'll write back to you. Also, check in the notes under this video. There'll be links to more learning opportunities. And right now, I'm going to put links here to other things that can help you improve your fluency and improve your speaking. So you can click on these videos right here to try and get better. All right? That's it for now. See you later.